Hold, please. I knew I forgot something. Here we are. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Prawn, thank you so much for the resub. How are we? I forgot to do this. Yes. Here we go. That'll do. That'll do. I hope everybody's having a good day. Happy Friday. Hi, gay. Happy Friday. How far are we? Oh, okay. We're good. Ooh, we're good. We're here. We're doing it. I haven't streamed in like a week. My bad. Oops. But we're here. Let me go to the... Yep. And maybe we pick a new color. Maybe we pick a new color for these. I like the gold. We could do that. We can do that. Oh. There we go. Lovely. All right, we're co-working. I actually have a lot of stuff I need to do, so for once, we'll see if I actually get it all done. We'll see if I get it all done. Probably not. The answer may surprise you. Hi, Raven. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a good week. I have just a bunch of random like one-off stuff to do, really. I have a bunch of website stuff I want to do. My websites are just hideous, frankly. And I've realized, because I always, since I'm updating my websites on my PC, I never look at my website on my phone. So nothing is like optimized for mobile. So I'm going to do that. The Carrie the One websites are, but I'm my like personal one. Not cute. So we're going to do that today. I have a bunch of random like work stuff to do. Everybody's in panic right now because of all these executive orders. So we're like pivoting so much of what we do so that people will keep hiring us to do work for them. Like all of our trainings, we're changing the language and things on them so that we're not calling them DEI trainings anymore. Which I get it and it makes sense, but also like that's so annoying. So we're basically gonna have like 2 different sets of trainings now, and I have to train our salespeople to figure out. Basically, we're gonna have like one set of trainings because some companies are like still going full steam ahead on DEI, or they're even going harder on DEI. But then there are a lot of other companies that are like backing off, and a lot of it I think depends on whether or not they're federal contractors. But so we're basically going to have like one set of trainings that are like for the companies that aren't afraid to say DEI, and then another set for the companies that like what they want is probably DEI or would normally be considered part of like our DEI offerings, but it's like branded in a more like not vague way, but we're calling them like leadership development trainings, and it's about like skill building as opposed to like diversity and inclusion and all that. So it's annoying, but I'm getting more hours as a result. So for the next like 2 months at least. Normally I only get 15 hours a month out of this contract, but this work is high priority for us. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this in 15 hours a month. If I only spend 15 hours a month doing this, I'll have it done by summertime. And so she was like, if you go over, let me know. Like, we're expecting you to go over your hours, but like, let me know. And so I was like, so how many hours can I have then? Like, what's my new limit? And she wouldn't tell me. She was like, just let me know like what it looks like and we'll play it by ear. So yeah, so there's that at least, right? But it is really annoying. Luckily, most of the clients I'm working with right now are not federal contractors, so the executive order doesn't explicitly like apply to them. And most of them, their organizations aren't like necessarily backing off. Some of them are like not investing as much, like they're not spending as much with us, but none of them are like, we're not doing DEI anymore. So Kanele, welcome in. Support the kingdom on this last day of January. That's right, it's the last day of January. Last day of January, we're trying to raise money for Goose. Where is it? Right there. Obviously, we're not going to hit the $3,000 goal. I was not expecting us to hit the $3,000 goal, to be clear. But every bit does help. So for folks who are able, a lot of you have already contributed to, so I appreciate you. Don't feel like you have to do it again. But if you happen to know anyone, we are closing in on our next incentive. So we're just under $400 away from a Jared workout stream, if that is of interest. Have you on Bluetooth on my car because I'm leaving Walmart? You're probably not far from me right now then. I do not live very far from Walmart. Coming at you from the speakers in Kanele's car. We're co-working and catching up because I haven't streamed in like a week. So sorry. All right, what do I need? There's a blog post I have to put up. We can make that first. We have... I am trying to crank my way through this project management course, mostly because I'm paying monthly for that. So that's on Coursera, which is where I did the bookkeeping class. So right now, the two things that are like, in terms of like personal growth and development that I'm working on are the project management course, and then I started that full stack developer course too. But the developer course was like a one-time, I didn't even pay for it. I got it for free because I work for a company that like bought out the company that offers the course. But it's like lifetime access. So it doesn't matter how long it takes me to do it because I'm not paying for it every month. The project management class, I'm paying, I think, $49 a month for Coursera. So I want to go ahead and crank through that so that I can cancel the membership and be done with her. So that's going to be the priority in terms of that. So I still want to do the full stack dev course. I haven't given up on it, but that one's less, I think, time sensitive. I also want to work on my material for this hootenanny that I got booked for. What is a hootenanny? I'm not really sure. I think that technically it's like a Western thing. Like I think a hootenanny at one point actually meant something very specific. What I got booked to do, I do not think meets the like traditional criteria of a hootenanny, but that's what they're calling it. So I have to do that. Because I want them to like me. And I think there will be a lot of people at this thing who would hypothetically be potential future bookers. So if I want to get booked to do more drag stuff, I think impressing the people at this hootenanny will be helpful in making that happen. I have to fix that website. That's going to take a long time. I'm so slow with website stuff, but it's got to be done. And then I have to send an invoice. All right. We have 5 things to do. Plus, I want to do like a grocery order today, but I don't have to do that on stream. That's fine. That's fine. So that's where we're at. Don't forget, y'all can use, is it sweet? Yeah. If you want to use the bot to track your own tasks, the things you got to do, feel free to do so. Feel free to do so. If you're crushing tasks like me, look at that list. That is a big list. Why not treat yourself? Okay. Amazon Prime members, serve yourself and Carrie by using your free sub here on the last day of January. It's true. I always forget to use my Prime sub. I wish that it would let you set your Prime sub to auto renew like a paid sub does. And I understand that they don't do that because they're hoping you won't remember to use your Prime sub. But it would be nice if it did, considering how much Prime costs these days. You would think. Did y'all see that they're raising the price on Netflix too? Did y'all get that email? I feel like, didn't they just raise their prices? And now they're doing it again? Can we talk about that? Oh, I'm on the wrong email. I want my boy email. Did y'all see that they're raising the price on... That's the wrong email too. I have too many email addresses. I have like my one that I use for work stuff, and then I have like the throwaway one I use when I know they're signing me up for like sales emails. You finally canceled Prime. Good for you. I should. But mine is set to do like the full year. So every time I remember to cancel, it's like just renewed, and I tell myself, well, I'll wait until next year now. So I think mine like renews in, I think, September or something like that. Yeah, my Netflix is going up to $17.99 a month. It's like 15 something now. I don't remember exactly. But what the fuck? Remember when Netflix was like the cheaper option because you were cutting the cord and cable was so expensive? Now I feel like it would be cheaper just to go back to cable. And that's just Netflix. Like most people don't just have one, streaming service. Or at least most of the people I know. Partner has Prime, so if I need, oh yeah, that makes sense. I remember the student Prime, the days of student discounts. I had the student Spotify too. Ugh. Now I'm paying like $10 for Spotify. I should probably get rid of that too. But I use Spotify for co-working streams, and I feel like it would kill the vibe if y'all had to listen to ads in the middle of it. Yeah, $17.99 a month. For what? That's wild. February 28th, the end of next month. And that's just like the standard plan. I know they've got a few different plans. I think I have the cheapest one you can get that doesn't have ads or something. Yeah. It's $10 more. It's literally the same price or the same service to get the standard with ads. It's just it's a $10 difference. I could do the standard with ads for $7.99 a month. And it's literally the exact same. It doesn't tell you how many ads though. It just says less than you might think. Less than you might think. Sure, Jan. Okay. Well, maybe we'll consider that. I wouldn't mind watching ads on Netflix. I'm not that like... I don't mind ads for the most part. It bothers me a bit on Twitch just because of the interactivity. Like last night I was watching Invidious and I can't remember. I said something. I made a comment or something, and I'm pretty sure she responded to me, but I got an ad, so I couldn't tell what she was saying. I could see, and I can you can kind of tell when the streamer's reading chat. So I'm pretty sure she responded, but I got an ad right after I sent my message, so I'm not sure what she said. But I don't mind ads on can't cancel my Spotify because I got some weird plan. Yes, same Raven. I'm on that too. Yes. I don't even use Hulu. I always forget that I have Hulu. And what's weird, I think that when I got it, it was Hulu, Spotify, and Disney Plus, because it's still billed to me as Disney Plus, even though I canceled Disney Plus. But on my like bank statement, it still says Disney Plus, but it's for my Hulu and my Spotify, which is so wild. Which I think is also why I haven't canceled the other two yet, because I think I have to cancel it through Hulu, maybe? Like if I try to go to my Spotify and just cancel my Spotify premium, it doesn't let me because it's bundled the way that it is. Which is probably intentional. They probably do that on purpose, knowing that it's going to be a pain in the ass. 1 ad per 5 hours. I could live with that, yeah. I wonder, how many ads does Netflix have? So according to PC World, it's 4 to 5 minutes of commercials per hour. This was as of November. I think I still have Peacock too. Not that prone. We're just talking about Netflix. They're raising their prices again. So we were trying to decide if it would be worth it. Because they have like the standard plan, and then they have like the premium one for if you've got a bunch of different people using the same account. But then they also have standard with ads. So what I have right now is I think it's like 15.49 or some random number like that per month, which is still too much. I remember it was like $7. And it was like that was a good deal, and that's why everybody went to Netflix from cable. I think it's like 15.49, 15.99, but it's going up to 17.99, which that's egregious. $20 a month, ma'am. I mean, granted, I use it a lot, but I'm pulling up my bank statement because I know I literally just got charged. 15.49, yeah. So at the end of February, it's going up to 17.99. Or for $10 less, for $7.99 a month, you can do the same exact service. It's the same like streaming quality, 2 devices. You can download certain like shows and movies. The same service, but with ads for $7.99 a month. So we're trying to decide if that would be worth it. And it really comes, for me at least, comes down to how many ads are there. So it looks like it's like 4 to 5 minutes of ads per hour. My other question is, are they like pre-roll? Like, do they all play before the show starts? Or does it like interrupt what you're watching? That's what I want to know. Tell me more, PC World. So it doesn't offer the standard. Oh, that's the other thing. The standard doesn't offer like 4K, but I don't care about that anyway. So if you want to watch everything in like the highest quality, you have to get the fancy one. But the standard goes up to I think 1080p, which is fine for me. Four to 5 minutes of commercials per hour with the ads running at the beginning and during videos. Ideally during natural plot break. Each ad will be either 15 or 30 seconds. Exactly, Raven. Exactly. And that was kind of like originally, like when I first signed up for Netflix and they started doing the streaming, that was like the benefit. That was like the selling point Netflix used was no ads. Because apparently people really hate ads. Pretty much in line with Netflix's competitors. about 4 to 5 minutes per hour. You will get some ad-free episodes as a bonus for binge watching. The Netflix reward system. And then some advertisers will have the option to sponsor an ad-free episode for viewers who just binge watched a few episodes in a row. So I think Hulu does the same thing, where like if you're watching a bunch in a row, you can then watch like a 1-minute ad and then get the entire episode ad-free. So it sounds like it's similar to other streaming services, but those other streaming services are a fraction of the price. So it feels like they're really banking on people being committed to the content that they have on there, like the Netflix originals and things that you can't get anywhere else. But I mean, like I said, most people I know have at least 2 or 3 of those services. So like they'll have Netflix, Hulu. Beth, thank you so much for the resub. I'm sorry, I can't hear my alerts. Thank you so much for the resub. I love you. How are you? Like most people have like Netflix, Hulu, maybe like HBO or Max. I guess they're just calling it now. Something like Peacock. I know a lot of gay folks have Paramount Plus. So if you're paying like $10 a piece for those, you're basically paying what a lot of people were paying for cable beforehand anyway, right? We really let them gaslight us thinking that we were saving money. But here we are. TGIF. Amen. Amen. I want to do something fun this weekend. I need y'all to move to Maine, first off. Remember when I had all these friends who lived around here and it was so nice and fun, and then you all moved away? I do. Used to be saving. Exactly. It used to be such a good deal. Like, I've been a Netflix customer from way back when it was like you would get DVDs in the mail. And even then it was a good deal. Now, I don't know. What I do think is a good deal, and I don't think enough people talk about this, I have YouTube Premium, which, how much am I paying for that? I think it's like $12 a month. $13.99 a month. I really like YouTube Premium. That's how we watched Bring It On last night. There are a bunch of free movies and shows on there. I don't get any ads on YouTube. And I didn't think I would care so much about it, but I can start a movie or a video on one device, and then like if I'm sitting here at my computer, I often will put like a stream or YouTube video or something up on the side while I'm working. But if I like get up and go to the kitchen and I'm like cooking or something, I can put it up on my laptop and pick right up where I left off. It's very nice. Cannot, will not ever go back from YouTube Premium. I really like it. I didn't think I was going to use it that much, but I kept getting the prompt asking me to try the free month of it. She got me, girl. She got me. Same, Raven. Yeah, it feels like that's... I mean, obviously that's intentional. Of course it is. Capitalism. Do you like the Walmart Plus? That's the thing I'm trying to think of as I'm like planning for life post Jared. At the risk of sounding dramatic. The like most tangible difference is going to be like, that's how I would get my groceries. We would go to the grocery store. And I don't want to have to like Uber back and forth all the fucking time with my groceries. So I'm looking at like which of the like grocery delivery, like Instacart, etc., are the best deal. And Instacart's expensive. I didn't realize how much they like tack on to everything with Instacart. But I also haven't used it since I had the really good job in tech, and so I didn't really care how much it was. Consider getting Walmart Plus, but when I went in, I saw their 50% off annual promo was done, so I said, nah. I guess I've never really... Not that I want to like give my money to Walmart, obviously, but I'm not really in a position to be super picky right now. I'm not really in a position where I can be like super discerning about my how I spend my money, because I don't have enough. Don't use it much myself. As far as being delivered to, Walmart prices are the same and no issues. Got it. I bought it, I might have 50% off now. Okay. I'll do some comparing. I always used Instacart before, but I wasn't doing like weekly or every other week grocery trips. It was always just like when I needed something and I knew that we weren't going to go to the grocery store in the next couple days. So I think if I were using something consistently, I think Instacart's going to be too expensive. Because they mark up every item and then there's like the delivery fee and then you tip the driver and I get a lot of like, because I don't cook, I buy a lot of like canned stuff or like frozen food, like, and so if I buy too much, they charge you for how heavy everything is. You get like a heavy item fucking fee. So I'll take a look around. That's like the benefit of living where I do, is that I'm close enough to stuff that it wouldn't be, I know I'm within range for a lot of these things, so. Didn't know about the heavy item. Yeah, it's only happened a couple times, and usually, because what I do is, because it's so expensive, I'll try to stock up, but like I buy, like in the winter, I do a lot of soup, I do a lot of like Chef Boyardee, and if you buy enough of that stuff, it triggers this like heavy item fee, which it's not a lot. It was like $7 or something like that, but when you're already paying so much. Love that, Canele. The dulcet tones of my soft, velvety voice. You're welcome. Someone did. It was Beelzebubby on the first episode of the podcast, which if you haven't checked it out, how dare you? They commented on it on, I think, Spotify, and they're like, "You have such a great voice for this." I was like, "Huh?" I don't think I've ever gotten a compliment on my voice before. It's pretty grating, I think. But hey, I'll take it. Can you guess the real first name of the basketball legend known as Magic Johnson? I know this. I know this. It's something unusual or uncommon. Is he Irvin? Irving? Irwin? I think it's something like that. One time my Scottish, now ex, told my friend her voice sounded very horny, and I think about that often. I usually get squawky. People usually tell me that I'm squawky. It does get a lot deeper, like when I first wake up. This is why I don't do early morning streams, because y'all wouldn't like me first thing in the morning. But my voice is like really gravelly. I don't know why. I don't think I snore in my sleep, but I do dry out. When I wake up, I feel like the Sahara is in the back of my throat. Don't clip that. So I don't know what happens, but when I wake up, the first thing I do is I take, not this one, I've got a bigger, like the one that has Pedro Pascal on it, full of water, and I drink that entire thing. That's why I pee so much. So that's probably not good. I'm probably not drinking enough water. That's probably what that's telling me. Irvin, Slay. Look at that. I knew a sports question. Mask for mask. Anyway. So yeah. So I'm in the market for like a affordable grocery delivery. It probably would be cheapest just to take like an Uber or a Lyft. But then I have to haul my groceries in an Uber. And I don't want to. It's probably not that big of a deal, but I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. Or like having to wait outside when it's like cold. I don't want to do all that. But it would probably be cheaper because it's not that expensive. I think to take an Uber to either like Walmart or Target, or there's a Hannaford not far, is probably like $8, maybe 10 with like a tip, but it would probably be cheaper to do it that way. We'll see. Maybe I can get like a new customer like promotion for one of them and luck out. Well, I'm going to start getting to work. I encourage you all to do the same if you have things to do. Reminder, again, you can use the bot if you want, !sweet, or there's a panel underneath the stream to tell you how to use all the commands. I hope we're all doing okay. It's obviously been one doozy of a week in what will surely be a long, steady stream of doozies of a week. I said this in the podcast, and I'll say it again. The like mess, the confusion, the mixed messages, the one part of the government not talking to the other and getting cross messages that don't make sense and contradict each other, that is all intentional. They want you to think this is the first this is the first like term all over again, where they came in riding this like high of the stereotype that, oh, he's stupid, he's this bumbling idiot who doesn't know what he's doing, so that we won't like take it seriously when he says and does things that are unprecedented. So that is all part of the like plan. Notice all of this is happening while he's simultaneously getting most of his nominees confirmed to his cabinet. We're not talking about RFK Jr. right now. We're not talking about Tulsi Gabbard right now, even though they're both in the middle of their like confirmation hearings and processes, because we're talking about things like DEI. We're talking about things like this plane crash and whose fault it was. We're talking about the executive orders and the retraction of the executive orders. And yeah, exactly, Raven. And even then, they still, there was, I can't remember who it was, but there was the White House press secretary was like, no, we're not retracting the order. We're just retracting the memo. So we're still like not even, nobody fucking knows. But that's all intentional. That's all on purpose. Hi, Razor. You're a fixture now. Did the alert not go off? Hello? Oh, do I not have alerts on this? Oh, I don't have alerts on this screen. So sorry. Barrel, flashing lights, lasers. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. So yeah, so all of that is like part of the like strategy. So know that, and like I said, I talked more at length about this on the podcast, but you can't possibly keep up with everything. Like you can't possibly be watching all of the different things that are happening in like real time. But and I cited, there was a TikTok from some creator who was like, it's public school teacher energy that we're looking for. Like, you know what's happening, you're aware of kind of all the different stories, even though you're not necessarily acting on all of them. That I think is the approach I will be taking. And the podcast I think is going to help me do that, because the whole point of it is to try to like boil down some of the most maybe not the most like urgent or most pressing, but the most maybe pertinent to the folks that I know are listening. So know that nobody's expecting you to like be doing everything all at once. And yes, it's important to take time for self-care, and joy is important in this moment. Although I will say, one thing that gets me is I often see, and this is something I see most often on TikTok, and granted, it's social media, so we don't see everything someone's doing, but I feel like there are a lot of people who scream and shout that like joy and community are an act of resistance in of themselves, and they are correct. And that shouldn't be the only act of resistance you're engaging in. That's what I struggle with, is And I know there are folks here in my local community too who do the same thing, where they're happy to be part of the joy part of resistance. Translation, they want to be able to keep having their drag shows and act like that's in and of itself all the activism they need to be engaging in, but then they don't do any of the like heavy lifting part either. And the whole reason that joy is part of the resistance and is part of any like organized resistance is because that's how you stay committed, how you stay engaged, how you stay rooted in the work that you're doing the rest of the time. So if all you're doing is partying and like the joy part of it, like you could be doing more, is my point. And I think that we all could maybe take a moment and have an honest conversation with ourselves about what we do and do not have the bandwidth for. Yeah, of course, Raven, yeah. Of course. I just feel like there are a lot of people who, and I'm guilty of doing it too, where like we just feel tired and it's like it's just so much. It's only been a week or two. How are we going to get through this? And that's what they want. They want you to get so tired and so overwhelmed that it stops being a surprise. Housing 30,000 undocumented immigrants in Guantanamo Bay is a colossal red flag. That is, if any other president suggested such a move, that would be headline news for weeks. We would be talking about that for months. That president wouldn't be able to get anything else done because of that. But because it's who he is, and because there's so many other things flying out at us at the same time, it's like one of several things that are on our radar. And the idea then is you can't possibly like organize a concerted enough and focused enough resistance to it that you're able to stop it, because you have so many other kind of balls in the air. So that's how it starts, and that's how it's meant to kind of affect us. So whatever it takes for you to kind of combat or mitigate or avoid that sense of overwhelm, that sense of helplessness maybe, is important. And it shouldn't be the only thing that you're doing. That's my point. Yes. Have your parties, have your brunches, whatever it is that you do to like find community and recenter and refocus, but don't let that be the only thing you're doing. Because there are too many other people. And this is no matter who you are. This isn't like just for like cis white people, because there's so many communities under the gun right now that everybody has an opportunity to be a better ally and be a better accomplice to somebody. So even if you need to like prioritize your safety too, like there are things you can still be doing. Exactly, Raven. And we don't have any excuses this time because we've already seen him do it once. That was how we got blindsided so hard the first time, because nobody thought that his clown car full of fucking idiots was actually going to get anything done. But I think what we're learning, what some of us are learning, and what some of us have known for a very long time and have warned us about for a very long time, is just how little our democracy and our government is designed to resist bad actors and address someone with ill intent. Our democracy and our government is structured and designed in such a way that it assumes all of the participants are patriots who are primarily concerned and interested in like the success of the United States and its people, protecting Americans. And it's not really designed to handle the possibility that someone will get elected who will prioritize their own interests over those of the country. So, and I see this come up a lot when people talk about like, see, this is all just proof that if the Democrats really wanted to get things done, they could. Look how quickly Trump's just breaking anything he wants. And to an extent, I understand that. I do think the Democrats could have and should have done a whole lot more. And again, our government is really structured in such a way that it's really easy to prevent things or stop things or break things. But it's very hard to, it's intentionally hard and intentionally very slow to make things happen using the like proper channels, if that makes sense. Like passing a bill is not an easy thing to do. It takes a long time. It goes through several different kind of stages intentionally. But what we see with this administration is that they're not using the sort of traditional means of power, levers of power. And that's where a lot of the like people who were raising the alarm well before this all started, what they were saying wasn't, oh, we're seeing like a wave of MAGA Trumpism in America. We are, but it's by no means close to like a majority. What we're seeing is a shift in strategy from Republicans, specifically the Trump Republicans, to where they're not using the same means to get things done anymore. So this party that traditionally has been all about smaller government, less government, less executive power even, is now running entirely on consolidating power within the executive branch. Not just by leveraging things like executive orders, as he clearly is, but also we're seeing the other two branches, which exist as checks and balances to the executive branch, taking their lead from the president as though he is a king and not an equal counterbalanced branch of the government. We shouldn't be hearing from leaders in the House of Representatives and in the Senate that they're going to like take their lead from him. He's not their boss. But they act like he is. And it's because they're afraid of getting voted out, because he's shown so much ability to kind of influence things within the party. I love that I'm listening to you, but watching Razor play. I know Razor never actually is paying attention. He just wants to play this fucking jump game. He always does that. And he's the only one who plays that game. Anybody else who happens to catch a star, it's luck. He just spams chat with the exclamation point jump. Institutions will likely not function as checks and balances this time. Exactly. Hi, Shayla. Welcome in. Not the PC trying to restart. I don't think so. Nice try. Because they don't have any spine or moral compass. Yeah. Exactly. And we're seeing kind of similar from the Democrats, too. I'm represented by Jared Golden, who is probably one of the most conservative Democrats in the House of Representatives. He's one of the, I don't know what they call it, like a co-chair of the Blue Dog Democrats. Is that what they're called? The Blue Dog Coalition. Which is like a caucus of moderate Democrats. He's one of the like heads of it. He came out today in support of the tariffs that Trump is proposing. And he gave this whole long-winded fucking explanation of how he supports it, not because he thinks it's going to bring prices down, because it won't, let's be clear, but because he thinks it will increase American manufacturing. Which, sure, if tariffs are implemented and left in place in the long term, that is often like a side effect, because people don't want to keep paying super high fucking prices, so companies start manufacturing back here in the United States instead of overseas. But that takes a long time. That's not going to happen anytime soon. And we're going to be paying astronomical prices in the meantime. If you're a company that manufactures, I don't know, cars, and you currently have your factories are in Mexico and, I don't know, India, you get a tariff. You pass that tariff on to your customers, so you raise your prices because now your costs are higher. The process of going from raising your prices to then deciding to move your manufacturing back into the US, and then building a factory and building out the ability to actually do so, and updating all of your supply chains because there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to getting all of the different things you need to make a car to your factories. Like, it's not gonna, that's not a sound strategy for the businesses or for the customer, because we're not gonna buy, we already can't afford cars. We already can't afford the things people are selling us. Let alone you tack on an extra 25%. Your what, $20,000 car now becomes a $25,000 car? No, I don't think. Especially, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't think Congress gets to weigh in on tariffs. No, they don't. They do not. That's all a function, not I think exclusively of the president, but of the executive branch. So the president and like his cabinet, for example. But by extension, the president, we know, is just going to fire anybody who doesn't do what he tells them to do. So he's operating the executive branch like he's a dictator. Yeah, I think that's what's kind of stunning a lot of people, Raven, is like, and I think for a lot of folks, that's also the source of some of their anxiety around like, what do we do? Because it used to at least be that, you know, we would have differences of opinion, and like political differences meant more so like differences in approach or differences in method, not so much differences in outcome. So like Democrats and Republicans would disagree on immigration, but the disagreement wasn't like whether or not to deport millions of people who haven't done anything wrong and are just here undocumented, which is not a criminal offense. Please remember that. Being here undocumented is a civil offense, not a criminal offense. And I think it's really important that we continue to push back when people try to paint any immigrant who's here without documentation as inherently a criminal. That's a step toward dehumanizing them. But we've now reached to this point where in this like super hyper partisan world, it's entirely different. Like they both suck. Let me be clear. Like let's take the example of immigration. We are in a place now where the agreement is between the parties that immigration is a problem and that immigration needs to be dealt with or handled. And what it comes down to is it's a matter of like the Democrats I think more consistently try to paint a line between like good immigrants and bad immigrants. The stance that they seem to have staked out is this one of, we acknowledge that there are some people who come here with ill intent or who come here with the intention to cause harm to people, et cetera, et cetera. We know that like from the experts, the people who are doing this work, the people who work with undocumented folks in the US, that overwhelmingly that's not the case. And even the ones who do commit crimes, they are often crimes of poverty. They are often crimes of survival, crimes of survival, which means like they're stealing things, but they're stealing things because they need them to live. It's not like people are coming here, generally speaking, trying to like set up crime rings. Generally, undocumented immigrants are trying everything in their power to not be noticed at all. The last thing they want to do is commit a crime because then they might get deported. They don't want anybody noticing that they're here. They're here, they're trying to work, pay their bills, maybe send some money back to their family in the country they came from. They're not doing all that. And when they do commit crimes, overwhelmingly, it's because it's things like theft or even like things like robbery or burglaries. Often, and that's true of citizens too, like predominantly folks who commit crimes, with obviously some exceptions. The most common form of crime is these crimes of survival. People are doing things out of desperation because their needs aren't being met. And that's why anybody who knows what they're talking about when it comes to criminal justice reform will tell you the solution isn't more prisons. It's not more cops. It's not stricter or tougher penalties. Those things don't deter anybody because it doesn't stop them from being in a position where their needs aren't being met. The solution is making sure people have food, making sure people have a place to live, making sure they have access to quality medical care. Like, that's how you actually address the root cause. But then we get into like lobbyists and in the way that private business has sort of co-opted a lot of that, and people make money off of prison labor now. California, famously, in this last election, refused to make slavery illegal. And that's how it's all connected. We're going to put 30,000 people in Guantanamo Bay. We're going to continue deporting people. And while they are humans first, they are also a substantial labor force in this country. And when we start to see the impacts of not having enough people to help produce food and things, states and the federal government are going to start resorting to prison labor, which is, again, the only legal form of slavery still in effect in the United States. If you're a prisoner, if you're a convicted criminal, and again, remember, they just passed the Lake and Riley Act, which allows, between that and the executive orders, ICE can now detain people who are just suspected of a crime. They don't even have to actually be convicted. They don't have to be given due process. They can just round up whoever they want, say that they committed a crime. Now they're in prison, and we can use prison labor. So we're just taking undocumented immigrants, and instead of paying them shitty pay for their labor, we're just going to throw them in prison and get them to do it all for free. So anyway, I have to go to the bathroom. We can pick up this conversation, or I can maybe actually start getting some work done when I get back. But again, reminder, we are still raising money for Goose. This is our last day of Goonuary. So if you've got a couple coins, would love some help. Love you, mean it. I'll be right back.
With deep gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination to run for President of the United States. Let the race begin. What? Oh, what am I gonna do with a baseball? I'm gay. Now a brick. Happy Pride Month. What? I get on my knees. Oh!
It feels like home. Oh.
Let us pray.
Let us not. Did he just say he's become friends with school shooters? Do you think those are all his real teeth? Y'all ever had spicy milk? They call me a raggedy busted demon with a sinful nature and a soul damned to hell.
Bam!
Ow! I mean, ow. I'm not wearing panties. Oh. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I have to go! I have to go!
It's clobbering time.
Do you feel more powerful? Do you feel more influential? Do you feel more like visiting your local neighborhood glory hole than you did 3 minutes and 5 seconds ago? Because I do. With deep gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination to run for President of the United States. Let the race begin. What? Oh, what am I gonna do with a baseball? I'm gay. Now a brick. Happy Pride Month. What? I get on my knees. Oh!
It feels like home. Oh.
Let us pray.
Let us not. Did he just say he's become friends with school shooters? Do you think those are all his real teeth? Y'all ever had spicy milk? They call me a raggedy busted demon with a sinful nature and a soul damned to hell.
Bam!
Ow! I mean, ow. I'm not wearing panties. Oh. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I have to go! I have to go!
It's clobbering time.
Do you feel more powerful? Do you feel more influential? Do you feel more like visiting your local neighborhood glory hole than you did 3 minutes and 5 seconds ago? Because I do. With deep gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination to run for President of the United States. Let the race begin. What? Oh, what am I gonna do with a baseball? I'm gay. Now a brick. Happy Pride Month. Oh, what? What? I get on my knees. Oh!
It feels like home. Oh.
Hello.
Let us pray.
Let us not. Did he just say he's become friends with school shooters? Do you think those are all his real teeth? Y'all ever had spicy milk? They call me a raggedy busted demon with a sinful nature and a soul damned to hell.
Bam!
Ow! I mean, ow. I'm not wearing panties. Oh. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I have to go! I have to go!
It's clobbering time.
Do you feel more powerful? Do you feel more influential? Do you feel more like visiting your local neighborhood glory hole than you did 3 minutes and 5 seconds ago? Because I do. With deep gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination to run for President of the United States. Let the race begin. What? Oh, what am I gonna do with a baseball? I'm gay. Now a brick. Happy Pride Month. Oh, what? What? I get on my knees. Oh!
It feels like home. Oh.
Let us pray.
Let us not. Did he just say he's become friends with school shooters? Do you think those are all his real teeth? Y'all ever had spicy milk? They call me a raggedy busted demon with a sinful nature and a soul damned to hell.
Bam!
Ow! I mean, ow. I'm not wearing panties. Oh. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I have to go! I have to go!
It's clobbering time.
Do you feel more powerful? Do you feel more influential? Do you feel more like visiting your local neighborhood glory hole than you did 3 minutes and 5 seconds ago? Because I do. With deep gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination to run for President of the United States. Let the race begin. What? Oh, what am I gonna do with a baseball? I'm gay. Now a brick. Happy Pride Month. Oh, what? What? I get on my knees. Oh!
It feels like home. Oh.
Let us pray.
Let us not. Did he just say he's become friends with school shooters? Do you think those are all his real teeth? Y'all ever had spicy milk? They call me a raggedy busted demon with a sinful nature and a soul damned to hell.
Bam!
Ow! I mean, ow. I'm not wearing panties. Oh. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I have to go! I have to go!
It's clobbering time.
Do you feel more powerful? Do you feel more influential? Do you feel more like visiting your local neighborhood glory hole than you did 3 minutes and 5 seconds ago?
Excuse you. Steven, thank you for the resub. Thank you for the Prime sub. So good to see you. Razor, thank you for the $300. Ma'am. Our rich gay Uncle Razor coming in clutch again. Thank you very much. Who says thank you? He's just really busy licking himself in the other room. Could not be bothered to come in and say thank you himself. He's just got a lot on his plate today. That puts us like, what? $95 away from a Jared workout stream. And then I think it's what, $17.50? I don't remember. I'm so bad. I always set these like goals and stuff and then I can never remember them. Yeah. So at 1500 is the Jared workout stream. 1750 is the Hazelnuts workout stream. And then if we manage to get to 2000, that's a 24-hour stream. Not today though, that's for sure. But thank you so much. Really busy licking himself? Same, really. I mean, there are worse ways to spend your time, right? At least it's not drugs. Could be worse. Could always be worse, frankly. All right. Maybe I'll actually start working now. Let me fire up the Spotify. I do have a bunch of tasks to do. I'm not... Wait. I need to... I switched my monitors, so I have more space for work stuff, but it means that my canvas where I can see my stream is so small now. I can't read my own tasks, but I'm pretty sure I should be able to finish them all today. That's the goal. That's the goal. Testarossa. Here we go. All right. Let's go, girls. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. As always, it's nice to not have to... I was talking to Jared about this. He came, was it yesterday, I think? To pick up his mail and stuff. And he's like, are you doing okay? I'm like, I'm fine. And really, the only thing that like bothers me is that I don't see other people most days. I don't talk to other people most days unless I'm working or streaming. So streams like this really help me. I appreciate it. Even if you're not working, it's helpful for me. And Razor gets to play the jump game, so wins all around, really. See? It's fine. Oh, did you all see? Probably not. Most of you aren't streamers, but y'all remember we used to play Stream Raiders? I don't know that it really ever like took off as much for us as it did for some other folks. But the one where you had like the little, you'd place your little units and they would fight. That's shutting down. I can't remember how long, like a month or two from now, but they're closing that. That's a bummer because that was really fun. I played that a lot. Boozin used to play that all the time, and I would play on his stream. Yeah. There's one of the like partners, one of the creators who would partner with them is trying to like fundraise or crowdfund so he can develop like an alternative. But he's trying to raise like $200,000. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I think he was at first trying to buy it but then when he spoke to the company that owns it, it like wasn't gonna happen. So his alternative was like to try to like build a new one. So more power to him. I hope it works out, but also like I don't know about that. Yeah. Kind of a bummer. Alright, what am I doing? Blog post. I'm trying to do better with I talked to my boss this week at my consulting job. And I was like, I hate networking. Like I told her, I was like, I would like to start getting more clients, like consulting clients of my own, not just the ones that I get through the firm that I work with. But I hate doing any kind of networking because it just feels so fake and it's just so like surface level. It just feels like everybody's pretending to like be interested in each other, knowing that we all are just trying to sell something to each other. And I hate that. She's like, well, you could try to be more active on LinkedIn. Like that's a good start. I've been trying to do more. And I'm trying to like zhuzh up my website. I have not my Carrie the One website, but I have like a boy version website. I'm not gonna put it anywhere in here because it's literally my name, but so I'm trying to like keep up with the blog on there and like update it so it looks better. But I hate doing website stuff. Can't stand it. Mostly because I'm just not good at it. I think if I knew more what I was doing. And I'm sure there's an easier way to do a lot of this. Like one of the things I have to do is my website's all poorly optimized for mobile. Like everything's all over the place. It doesn't move things in the right places. I'm sure there's an easy way to do that, but I don't know how, so. Hi, Steven. Welcome in. Thank you for the resub. Hope you're doing well. And so I've been writing these blog posts. And they're good, obviously. I know what I'm doing, but again, it just feels so like fake. But I have bills to pay and a dog to feed, so here we are. Tax season means I can buy a new mic, which is oh, love that. Love that. I was hoping to do my taxes today, but now I think I'm gonna wait because I've got all this shit going on with the restaurant that I worked for, which apparently I didn't work for them and they never existed. So now I'm gonna wait until that shakes out. So I don't end up, I think I'm gonna end up owing money this year, which sucks, but I'm so irritated. I know. She stopped texting me back. I texted her last night and I was like, hey, shouldn't we be getting W-4s or W-2s instead of 1099s? And all she said, and I would be surprised if she suspects that I'm reporting her, but she said, no taxes were taken out, so I was advised to run them as 1099. And I said, I wish we had known that at the time, so I could have put some of that money aside. Since 1099 means I have to pay the taxes. Also, if I had known you were going to put me in as a 1099 employee, as a server at a restaurant, I wouldn't have taken that job. Me too, Razor. That I honestly was expecting it. And even when I saw that I had a 1099, I assumed, this is the other layer of all this, I assumed the 1099 was just for the money they paid me to do drag there. Because that's the other thing, is that I was an employee there, but I was also an entertainer they hired to do work there. The amount on this form doesn't match how much I made in either role, so I don't know where they're getting this number from. But yeah, 1099, you know that's what you're signing up for. I don't think any restaurant does 1099 for their employees. 1099, the work that I do, the consulting work I do is 1099 work. So I got this 1099 with a number on it. I don't know where the hell this number came from. It's less money than I should have made as a server there. It's less money than they paid me to do drag there. And it's on a 1099 instead of a W-2. Well, what I'm sure is probably happening is whoever is advising her, which is probably not someone who's actually an accountant. I'm sure they would advise her to do that because that's gonna make it easier for her. Because that means she doesn't have to pay any of those taxes. So, but that's a problem for me. And the other 6 or 7 people who worked there. And like I said, almost everybody else who works there or worked there were like high school girls who she knew personally, who probably don't know the difference between a 1099 and a W-2, who probably have never done taxes in their lives, who also probably didn't make enough money at that restaurant that they have to pay taxes on it or file taxes anyway. So she's probably got them all convinced that this is better for them. But I know better. Oh. The text you sent her is a lot nicer than I would have been. Part of me wanted to see if I could get her to send me what she has to document my hours. Because that's the only issue I have, is that because everything was done, I never got a paycheck. I never got like a pay stub or receipt, or like there's no documentation I've ever gotten other than this 1099 of the time or money that I got from, or put in or got from this job. I only ever got paid through Cash App, which in hindsight probably should have been a red flag, but I wasn't really in a position to be picky, was I? So I can't prove how many hours I worked there. I could go through and probably get a pretty good estimate. It was usually in my calendar. So unless it was one of those days where she told me just to not come in, I could probably come up with a pretty good estimate of how many hours I worked there. But the issue is, and this is why I filed the complaint, because in Maine, at least, I don't know how it works elsewhere, but in Maine, minimum wage is, or for tipped employees, minimum wage is I think $7.33. But and I don't know if it's on a weekly basis or a daily basis, I'm not sure specifically, but if the amount that you receive in tips over the course of, I think it's every week, doesn't add up to the equivalent of the state minimum wage, which is 15 something, the employer is supposed to make up the difference. And more often than not, I wasn't making as much in tips there. And she wouldn't let us claim our tips. So that's the other thing. She has no record of what we made in tips. So there's no way that she could have possibly have made up that difference for us. When we clocked out at the end of the day, our POS system prompts us to say, how much did you make in like cash tips today? And she wouldn't let us put anything other than 0 in. So she can't prove how much we made. I don't remember how much I made on, no, it wasn't usually much. More often than not, it wasn't enough that it equated to $15 an hour for the amount of time I was there. I had days where we didn't get a single table, or I got a table, but I was still there for 5 hours. So I'm pretty sure that if she were to have run all of this properly, it would have made it very clear that she owed us money. And if she owes me money, then she probably owes everybody else money too. Or at least all of the servers, and probably the bar. I don't know how she paid the bartenders, but burden of proof is on the employer, withholding is a responsibility of the employer. Well, I get that, but also she doesn't strike me as the type that's gonna be super cooperative either, so I don't know. She also put my address on it wrong. Not that I think that's as big of a deal, but I don't know. Everything about working there was kind of shady, but that's filing. Right. Well, that's the other thing is the form is literally just like a Google form, and it says it could take up to 30 days before they even acknowledge that they've received it. So I think this is going to be a long process, but I don't know. Ultimately, I don't think what she owes me is probably a ton. It's not like we worked there for long, and it's not like I made a ton of money while I was there, but I think the difference is going to be whether I owe money or I don't owe money. And in my current state of affairs, that's a very big difference. So it's so annoying. I should have been prepared. I should have like expected that it was going to be a problem, but I similarly, Razor, I wasn't expecting to get anything at all from her, to be honest. And then she messaged me like a week ago saying that she was going to send out, and this should have been a red flag too, because when she texted me, she was like, I'm sending out tax forms soon. She didn't say W-2s, she said tax forms. So I think you're right. I think that there's a certain like, this is intentional, and I think she's hoping that we don't know the difference. Too bad for her. I'm a bookkeeper. I'm a trained bookkeeper. I got Hawkeyes for shit like that. Mm-mm. You're not getting that by me, no ma'am. I took a class or two. I'm surprised. The way you talked about her, it didn't seem like she'd try to screw you all over like that. Here's the thing. It's entirely possible. Well, I don't think it's possible that she doesn't know she's doing that. I think she does. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was a matter of she can't afford to pay her burden, and therefore she's just gonna try to pass it on to us. It was pretty clear from the outset that I don't think she really knew how to run a business, but she's also someone, we all know someone like this, Razor, who nothing's ever their fault, and it's like they're incapable of admitting that they're out of their depth. Nothing that ever went wrong at the restaurant was her fault. Everything was always somebody else's fault. I remember one time I walked in and she was screaming at one of the teenage girls because she didn't think that all of our staff were doing enough to promote the restaurant when that wasn't our job. Yeah, I understand that, Razor. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, I don't think that this is like I don't know her motivations, but I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't like a malicious, I'm gonna fuck them over thing. She was always nice to me for the most part. There was one time she snapped at me and I told her point blank, if you talk to me like that again, I'm gone. You will never see me again. And she never did, but for the most part, she was always nice to me, but I was also doing drag and like promoting the restaurant and trying to get people in the door. So, but I think that's probably what happened. And I know that there's some like litigation she's working on with the person that she bought the restaurant from, or against the person she bought the restaurant from. I don't know what's going on with all that. I don't really talk to her anymore. I think we're friends on Instagram. And I think I'm friends with her husband on Facebook, so I see her pop up every once in a while. She goes to the like, there's a dance studio near us that it's like they do like pole dancing and like what's the thing? It's like a big hoop that hangs from the ceiling. That like circus, like fitness studio kind of thing. I know she goes there sometimes because I follow them and I see her in the picture sometimes, but yeah, Ariel and like the Silks and stuff. It's cool. They do like belly dancing. I won a like gift card or something from them like last year and some raffle that I entered. but I never used it. So she was always nice to me. She was always cool with the fact that like I painted my nails and like wore earrings and makeup. Like she didn't care at all that sometimes we'd have customers who were like look at me kind of funny about it. We put pride flags up and she didn't care that people had a problem with it. Like I do think that she meant well, but I think she was just way out of her depth. And I don't think she realized how much work it takes to run a business of any kind, but particularly a restaurant like that. Want to actually start silks, but things keep happening. It looks fun. Is this music really loud to you? I feel like it's so loud. I don't have my earbuds in, but I can hear it. Impact her more than just her. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah. It's frustrating. And I feel like it kind of hurt me, like, drag-wise, too, because I kind of, like, put myself out there and was like, this is this new space. It's going to be, like, the new place where we can do all this queer, like, events and stuff. And then they just vanished. And to this day, they still haven't like made a statement or anything. So like they ran that news article about it, but they just used information that was posted on social media. They've never made like a statement saying this is why we're not opening again. And the excuse they've always had is they're working on this litigation, but I don't know. So it's a mess and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm hoping that we somehow can get it resolved before, was it April 15th is the deadline? Hi Evie, happy Friday. Happy Friday. But I have a feeling whatever I don't know if it's like an investigation they do or I don't know how this all works, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to take longer than I have. So I might just have to file my taxes based on what I have and then like amend it or something later. I don't know. I don't know enough about all this stuff to like guess. So we'll see. But like I said, she stopped answering me. But I wouldn't expect her to say anything helpful anyway. So we'll just have to wait and see. And hope that I don't end up like owing a shitload of money or I don't know. Six crits, hello. Thank you for snatching your crown. I was lurking your stream the other day. The other day meaning yesterday. You can file a missing W-2 form in lieu of the 1099. But do I need to know like how much I would have made or anything? Because that's the other thing is I don't have any of that information. I can go through and like add up how much she sent me over Cash App. But again, what she sent me included my wages and what she was paying me for drag. I'd have to do some number crunching and I'd have to compare it to like Instagram. Might be good to do that adding up regardless. Am I gonna need a spreadsheet for this? Is this a job for a Google Sheet? Thanks for the lurk, Evie. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. You looked stunning last night, by the way. I wish I could pull off orange like you do. I likely need to reconstruct. Such a pain in the ass. It's not fair that I have to do all that. And I know that the difference is going to be negligible. That's so obnoxious. Came in late to the convo. We're talking. Sort of. So I for 3 months from July to September. The last day was Friday the 13th. Worked at a restaurant. I was a server at a restaurant, and it was kind of shady from the get-go. And I probably should have quit, but I was not in a position because I couldn't find another job. So I was taking anything I could get at the time. And I was doing drag events there too. So when I was doing the drag race watch parties, this was the place I was doing it. Yeah. So she finally sent us our tax forms, and she didn't send us a W-2. She sent us 1099. So she never actually hired us. So she tried to give us 1099 non-employee tax forms, which means she never withheld any taxes when she paid us. So I'm told that's illegal. I'm told that you can't do that. So what I told her, I was like, so what you're telling me is you didn't withhold any taxes the entire time we worked there, which means when I file my taxes with this 1099 that I was not expecting from you, I'm going to have to pay the taxes on all of this. And I understand. Exactly. That's the problem. It's also, I don't think you can put an employee of the type that I was. I don't think you can put a server on a 1099. I don't think the type of work I was doing qualifies for 1099. So she should have. I filled out a W-4. No, there was no written job offer. No. I went in to have dinner with Jared and see if she would let me have a drag show there. And she asked if I was looking for a day job too. Then she told me to come in the next day and wear black pants. Like, it was not, there was nothing really formal about it. I filled out a W-4 and I gave it to her. And she said she was going to get us put into ADP. But then I never got a paycheck. I never got a pay stub of any kind of documentation. Every week she would send us money on Cash App. And mine included both my wages and the money she was paying me for the watch parties I was doing. I wasn't even expecting a tax form of any kind from her. I'm surprised I got anything at all. But now it's this whole other problem. So I filed, there's like the state of Maine has a Maine wage, something or other. Wage and hour complaint portal. You made under a certain amount with that job, at least in Florida, you may not. Yeah, so that's, I think, true in Maine too, but I think it's close. But also, because I never got any documentation, I don't know how much I made. So there are a couple of layers to this. She always just sent us money on Cash App, but that meant that we didn't have anything breaking down how she got that number. I have no way of verifying how she came to the number that she sent me every week. And, at least in Maine, there's a tipped minimum wage that is below our state minimum wage. So state minimum wage is, I think, $15. Oh, $14.65. As of January 1st. So it was $14.15 before. I think $7.35 is the tipped minimum wage. So if you have a tipped employee, like a server, you pay them $7.35 an hour or $7.50. But if what they make in tips doesn't bring them to the equivalent of that $15, $14.50 an hour, you have to pay the difference. I know probably most weeks I wasn't making enough in tips that I was making the equivalent of minimum wage. The restaurant was dead most of the time. And she didn't let us track our tips. So when we clocked out at the end of the day and the little pop-up came up saying, how much did you make in cash tips today? She wouldn't let us put anything other than 0 in there. So there's no record of how much we made in tips. She's the only person who has any record of how many hours we worked. So I'm pretty sure, and this might be why she did the forms the way that she did, that if she had done it correctly, it would show that she probably owes us money. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not sure if in Maine at least, I'm not sure if that threshold is overall income or if it's by source. And I probably made more than whatever that limit is in Maine. But at the very least, I would like to have an accurate tax document, and I don't have that right now. I wonder if she was getting shady business advice on the... I'm sure she was. I'm sure she was. I'm so sure that she was. She bought a business, and the reason the business went under was because she bought the business but never bothered to see whether or not the licenses and permits transferred over. We got shut down by the state because we didn't have the permits to sell food and drinks. She was operating a restaurant illegally. That's why it closed. The litigation she's talking about is she's trying to sue the person they bought the restaurant from because they think that he didn't sell the restaurant to them completely. That he only had them sign paperwork that basically transferred the debt over to them, and that they never actually owned the restaurant to begin with. So yeah, I'm sure that she's probably getting advice from very shady people. Person giving it didn't think the business would go bad. Yeah, I'm sure. She says that the guy who sold it to them told her that they were making $2,000 a day and that they had a solid customer base, blah, blah, blah. And I looked her right in the eye when she told me that. I was like, you bought that? You believed him? If the restaurant was making $2,000 a day, why would he sell it? If this restaurant's making him $14,000 a week, that's $730,000 a year. Why would he sell that restaurant? On what planet, if you're making that kind of money on a restaurant, why would you sell it? Even if you didn't want to deal with it anymore, you could afford to hire a manager. Take a fraction of what you're making on that restaurant and pay someone else to run it for you. Why would you sell it? And then I didn't realize the entire time there was this guy who was their like tech person. So anytime like there was something wrong with the phones or the POS system or anything, they called this guy in to fix it. And he sucked. He would literally come in and things would be more broken when he left. That's the guy they bought it from. They let this guy basically keep his hands in everything that they were doing after they bought this restaurant from him. He would come in and then randomly we would start getting like Grubhub orders, and we weren't even on Grubhub. The menu people were trying to order from on all these apps was the old menu from the restaurant that was there before us. And I'd have to be the one to call all these people and be like, hey, that restaurant doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, call Grubhub and get it. Like, and that always would happen after he would come. Some people like move over. Yeah, no, that's not what this was. He was still, like I said, he was still coming in. And I would, even if I retired, I would still just hire someone else. Then you really only have to worry about it in tax season. You're making $700,000, you could afford to hire 2 managers. Pay them well, and you're still making $500,000 a year on this restaurant. I mean, hello? I don't know. The whole thing was a mess. But now it's a mess where it's starting to like mess with me. And that's a problem. Hi, mama. It's so stressful. And it's just weird. It's just weird. So I'm sure she was getting like not great advice, and I'm sure she was told to put us all in as 1099 because that benefits her. She doesn't have to pay taxes on what she paid us. My guess is if she wasn't putting us in properly, she probably wasn't also putting money aside to pay their taxes. So she probably is in a position where she's staring down a pretty hefty tax bill for her business that she can't afford. And so, yeah, she's probably got someone telling her all these corners she can cut so that it minimizes her liability. I agree, 6th grade. And we can get into that. That's an Intuit thing. almost every other like advanced democracy in the world, they just tell you what you owe for taxes or what you're owed back for taxes. The US is one of the few countries where you have to actually like calculate your own, and you get penalized if you're wrong. Well, you get penalized if you're wrong and you owe more than you thought you did. But it's rare that they come back and say, oh, we didn't give you as much money as we were supposed to. Here's an extra check. That almost never happens. And that's because companies like Intuit, who is the company that owns TurboTax, lobbied Congress. So for those of you who haven't done your taxes yet, there are free ways to do your taxes. You do not have to pay to file your taxes. Please do some homework, do some research before you give your money to TurboTax. Yeah, the lobbyists. Love to use direct file this year, but we'll see, considering I'm married. See my husband's tax documents. Yeah, that's the one thing I guess that my taxes are typically pretty straightforward. This year might be kind of messy just because I had 2 jobs that should have been W-2s. One of them was this restaurant that gave me a 1099 instead. The other one was I had that customer service job that I worked for a week before they laid us off. So I think all told, I made $100, 200 maybe from that job. Everything else I've done is 1099. So I have a lot more documents, I think, this year, but I don't think I'm gonna have to pay taxes on what I made for the customer service job, because it looked like they hadn't withheld anything on the W-2 that I got from them. So that shouldn't be a problem, but all of my taxable income is 1099 income, because most of what I made is either the consulting work I do or drag and Twitch stuff. So that'll be fun. Yeah, I don't think it was LL Bean was the company. I don't know why I'm acting like I can't say the name. Like, I don't work there anymore. I don't think I have to claim that. And then this restaurant thing, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with that. But good times. It'd be nice if I could just get a job. One job, one W-2, and then the Twitch stuff, which I don't make that much on Twitch either. Big surprise. I am not, in fact, independently wealthy, courtesy of Twitch.tv. Not yet, maybe next year. Don't hold your breath, but so that's where we're at. I filed a claim, filed a thing, the wage and hour complaint portal, Microsoft Forms, not a Google form. And it asked me all these questions. It was like 40 pages long, but we did it. I might call, like if I don't hear anything in like a week or two, maybe I'll call. Just to make sure. This is my year? I hope so. I hope so, but also part of me wouldn't want to I don't think I ever want to be in a position where I quit my day job or quit doing anything else and just do streaming, because I don't think I would it would stop being, I think, fun. And I've seen so many people who've done that and they end up resenting themselves for it, because either they stop making as much money doing it, or it stops being as much fun and it starts feeling more like work, because it is. But I wouldn't mind going viral like once or twice, you know? If I could just get to like the 10,000 on TikTok and just get a couple that pop off just a little bit, just to get me through another couple months until I can get a job, like, I wouldn't mind. It is very inconsistent, yeah. I think especially now that like there's so much up in the air around platforms and I wouldn't want to be someone who works on like the influencer side of the industry either. Someone who like is like an influencer manager or a paid marketing manager. The folks who are trying to decide like how do we spend our marketing budget on creators, because you know Twitch is pretty consistent, YouTube's pretty consistent, but beyond that, like, do you invest money on TikTok right now? Given where we're at. So I wouldn't want to be on either side of, well, I wouldn't mind being on the other side because then I'm probably a W2 employee of someone. But other than that, I wouldn't want to be making those decisions right now. So I've been trying to focus more. One, I think a lot of people hitch their wagon to a platform unnecessarily. Like I was watching I can't remember their name. I followed them, but I was watching a streamer. They were playing Skyrim the other day, and they had like, I don't know, 20 to 25 viewers over the course of the stream. And I'm not sure if that was their average or not, but all of their branding was centered on Twitch. So like their logo was like the Twitch logo with their name in like a fun font. All of their like socials were branded as like almost like they were like an ambassador for Twitch, and it's like you don't have to do that. So I've tried to be really intentional about not like, I have this thing up here, but that's a rotator that shows all my socials. Like there's nothing about my branding on any other platform that I would have to change if I decided tomorrow to stop streaming on Twitch and stream on like YouTube instead. And I think a lot of, especially new streamers, unnecessarily kind of lean into that like team mentality when like Twitch isn't on your team. Like they're not doing anything to help promote you. Why are you promoting them for free? And then when you have to pivot, if you pivot, you have to change all of that. So that's something I've been trying to be more like intentional about. And that same with my like short form stuff. When I post things on like TikTok or whatever, I post the same thing everywhere. I'm not making stuff specifically for any of those platforms until it becomes clear which one of them is going to last, you know. Diversify, which I know like that's not new advice, but anyway, we'll see what happens. I just need more wealthy white gay men. Razor, you probably know some wealthy white gay men. How do we get them in the chat? How do we get more of your friends to watch my streams? Do I need to take my shirt off? Is that what it is? Are they feet people? What needs to happen? Hello. Good morning. You gonna come say hi? No? Will not be elaborating. The sad thing is, well, it's not sad. It makes me sad, but I wouldn't need a whole lot. Like I could probably get we're going on 2 years. In a week, it'll be 2 years since I got laid off. And in that time, I've become so good at paring down my like expenses and the things that I need to survive that I don't need even a full-time job. I could probably get a part-time job and be able to pay. It would still be tight, obviously, but I don't need like a job like the one I got laid off from, where I was in tech and I was making 6 figures there. I don't need that. It'd be nice, but I could do like, that's why I've been looking for like server jobs and stuff, because then one, I don't have to work 40 hours a week, but also I wouldn't need to do more than like 20 hours a week, probably, depending on what the pay was, obviously. And I still can't find a job, even with those parameters. The fuck? Oh, he's here. There he is. Good morning. What are you doing? Simon. He looks sleepy. Anyway. Everything will work out. I have faith. Not in like the universe providing, but I have faith in myself to provide. That's one thing I have learned in the last few years is I'm much more resourceful than I think I probably thought I was, so. We'll be all right, Bubba? We'll be all right. We'll just keep subatoning every month to pay for your medicine. It's fine. It's fine. I have tons of sour shit I can be eating. I'll make Jared do all kinds of weird shit on stream for money. And he is just gonna have to be okay with it. Anyway. I'm actually gonna start co-working now. 2 hours into the stream. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I will keep you all updated to the extent that I can on 1099 Gate. Part of me wants to call her and just be like, walk me through it, but I don't think she would answer my call at this point. I think she suspects that I know what she did is not on the up and up, and I don't think she would probably talk to me, which is sad, but it is what it is. Let's get some stuff done. I have a blog post to work on, and then a website to fix. I'm also not sure. I need to fix my domains too. I have a custom domain that I use for my, this is like my boy website, but I don't have it attached to, I use Wix because it's just the easiest for building websites. But that means like if I want to share this blog post, it doesn't use the domain that I own. It uses the like blah 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 .wixsite.com. And I don't think I can just tack the like whatever the end of the URL is onto my, I don't know if that makes sense, onto my custom domain. No, it just takes it to the home page. There's probably a way to do that, and I'm just not smart enough. I don't think I'm probably smart enough to do that yet. Maybe someday. But not today. How do you add a task? So you just do exclamation point task and then whatever it is you want to do. I think, there you go. And then if you want to add something to like the end of your to-do list, you can do exclamation point later, and that'll add it as a task after the one that you have active. There you go. Love that. I love this bot. It is so cool. They have, I don't use it, but they have a little Pomodoro timer too. Very cool. It's so cool to see the things that like streamers and content creators come up with for each other. I will never cease to be amazed. Frosty Tools is another really cool one. And I wish that platforms like Twitch would lean more into that. And I think they want to, but I haven't heard of it. It's really cool. It's I can't remember, Razor, do you remember how much Super Sweetbot is? It's a Patreon thing. So basically you sign up for this guy's Patreon and get access to it. It's like $4 a month, I think. $3. But it is very cool. Yeah, it's like $3 or $4. It's not a lot. But I like it. See, if you stayed there, I could put a goose cam back up. But every time I try to look at you, you run away. Slay. One task down. What next? Oh, I forgot I still have this task on here. I'm gonna say it's done. I don't know if I'm gonna do it now. I was gonna put like a Google Doc together with all of the sub only commands, but if we're being honest, and I'm not complaining, but people don't really use those that often, so I don't think we necessarily need a document for it. It's not something that I think people use enough that I need to be doing all that just yet. You know? Oh, okay. Let's do this before I forget. Let's send our invoice so we get paid. That's very important. And that's due today, so. Not us getting more snow today. You have to be kidding. Oh, not a lot, just a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Like, we just got a storm. Razor. My favorite is when you get all bent out of shape about it not giving you the stars. That's my favorite thing. It's broken. I update my spreadsheet, my little hour tracker. Not that I think they even bother looking at this. We use this thing called Toggle, and it basically just connects to our it connects to my Google Calendar. It's supposed to be for like tracking your time, and it's meant for like super complex projects so that you can report out like if you're billing someone for the time you're spending on different things. But we use it to like track hours too. And it just syncs up to my calendar so she can see that, but I also put personal stuff on my calendar sometimes so that people don't schedule me. So like when Goose has his vet appointments or has to go to Petco, I put that on my calendar, not because I'm trying to get paid for that time, but so that nobody schedules anything during that time. So my Toggle I know is always off. I get 15 hours a month. Anything over that I'm supposed to get approval for beforehand. But I know Toggle has like 20 hours in there for me because of the other stuff I add. But nobody's ever said anything to me about it either. So I always have done this separate spreadsheet ever since I started there, which was a year ago today, actually. And I've always manually tracked my hours on the spreadsheet too, which I always link to them whenever I send my invoice, but nobody ever... I don't think they look at it. I don't think they ask any questions. She always just approves my time and they just pay me. Probably because it's only 15. It's not like they're paying me a shitload of money, you know. But I still do it every month. I know, an entire year. They still treat me like I'm brand new, but I think that's just because, again, I don't work many hours with them. So it's been a year, but it's really only been like 100 hours. So if I were a full-time employee, I've worked for them basically the equivalent of like 2.5 weeks. Nailed it. Updated your website products. Love that. Love that. So I always attach this, but I don't, like I said, I don't think anybody ever... No one's ever like responded. The only time I've ever had anybody reply to my invoice with anything other than like approved, please pay. The only time was, there was one time I did the math wrong on my invoice. It was the 1 month I didn't get my full 15 hours. I did like 13 and a half hours and I did the math wrong. And they responded and were like, hey, that's not what this number comes to. Any other time, they always just say, yep, approved. But every month, I still go in, update the spreadsheet. Because I know the one time I don't will be the time someone's actually looking at it. I just know it. I do really like working here though. I really like working with the people. I'm really good at this. Getting laid off kind of took like a blow to my confidence when it comes to like my ability to do this work. And working here has reminded me that like I'm really good at this. Like, not to brag, but this in this particular type of work, I'm really good at it. So it's nice to feel like, even though things are not great right now, and I am getting half a dozen rejection emails every single day, there is something I'm good at. At least I think so. I'm pretty sure. Done. We're doing it. I don't know if you heard that. He's snoring. Love him. All right, now what else do we have? We'll do the website, I guess. I don't really want to do any of those things, but we'll do the website. If I don't do it now, I'll never do it. I don't even remember how. I think I have to go page by page and like change the view. That's so annoying. If I was rich, I would just hire someone to build a website for me. Actually, I bet you can probably find someone on Fiverr to do it. I don't need anything like, I'm not like selling things on my website. You don't book like appointments and things with me through the website. It's literally just like informational more than anything else. It has like my socials and stuff linked, but so for someone who knows what they're doing, it probably wouldn't be that hard. I say that as someone who can't do it myself. If it wasn't that hard, I could probably just figure it out on my own. So it probably is very hard, but maybe I'll ask Dragon. That Dragon can do it. Dear Dragon, how many toe picks would it take? Throw that out there. Yeah, it's only like 5 pages. And it's all literally just like text and images. I don't even have any videos or anything on it. Yeah, how many little piggies? And it's mostly done. I just need... The mobile versions are all... It's just all fucked up. Actually... there's nothing... on it. Huh? Oh yeah, it's all... I actually don't know how to fix this. But I don't know why it does this either. I wish I could show you, but the website literally has my boy name on it. It's literally like boyname.com. Like, I can't do that. can do this. You can do this, don't give up. Even though I very much just want to give up right now. More than anything, I'm embarrassed that my... this is what it's looked like for so long. No wonder nobody's been booking me for consulting shit. This website's ugly as hell. I wouldn't either. Okay. So for most of these pages, it's not that hard because I just have to move the elements around and make some of them smaller so they fit in like the vertical instead of. But on like the home page where it has like my picture and the like intro to me and my little bio, there's nothing on there. It's like just a blank page, even though there should be stuff on there. And I'm not sure how to change that. Well, I'll just do my best for now. And then maybe I'll find some YouTube videos. Alright, that looks okay. Yeah, some of the pages, it's like they automatically adjusted and they're fine. And some of them, it's just not good. And it's probably because of the like specific widgets and things that I use. I'm sure it's something I did. I am probably the problem. Problem is, the page that's not working is literally the home page. So if you type in like the URL, it's the first page you come to that's broken. Like if it was the contact form or something, that would be different, but it literally just, that's the website. And I can't see anything to fix it. I wonder if I can just copy and paste, if it's that simple. No, I wanted that. No, I wanted that. Oh, everything was hidden. That. Wow. Now, why would you do that? Girl. What are we doing? Thank you for all tolerating me talking to myself. Appreciate you. Realtor, it is. It literally just had everything hidden. But I didn't hide it. Anyway, it's there now. Save. I also think my website, it's probably not
as accessible as it could be. But I'm not an expert at that. I look it up again. Oh, that's much better. Much better. Oh, I need... menus. Using my imagination of this website process. Like I said, I wish I could show you, but the website is literally my government name.com, which is good, but I've been swatted twice and we're not trying to make it 3, so. Welcome back, Prone. It doesn't look great. It's not like a well done website, but it does the job. I have a shop. I don't know why I have. There's nothing. I don't sell anything on this website. I think when I created this initially, which was forever ago, I just added a bunch of stuff that I thought I would want eventually. Like I was on a big kick about creating some sort of like ebooks and digital products and stuff. And then I decided not to, just because what I do, DEI, it just moves so fast and it changes so much that anything that I created would be useful like in a very specific scope, which is not a bad thing, but it would be hard to create something that like is evergreen, if that makes sense. Okay. Like there's a whole there's a whole shop page that I do not need. Hey chat, well I'm fixing this website for mobile. Thanks for using your imagination, Raven. Remember you can support the stream directly at kofi.com/carry1 or join Club Carrie VIP. You know what I also realized the other day, and I think I still have fourth wall memberships to give away. As long as they don't expire, I'm pretty sure I still have some left. Not that prone. That's also one of the drawbacks, is that I have a very common name. I have a very like vanilla white dude name. So I couldn't get any of the like direct, like you can't find me at just firstnamelastname.com. Yeah, I still have a bunch, I think. We really went wild on that month where they were matching them. First name, last name, 3, right. Like there's I think he was a congressman who has my name. There's a musician, he's like a rock musician who has my name. I also use a nickname, like I don't use my full government name. Not that wrong. Yeah, I think I still have a bunch left. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 12, 13. Yeah, I have 13 memberships left. Most of them are the $5 ones.
Maybe we'll I just redo it now. Should be able to just re-roll it, right? Redo giveaway. Oh, yep. There you go. Let's give away 2 level 2 memberships. There you go. Thanks, Razor. Thanks, Razor, from September 28th, 2023. Exclamation. Oh, just type the word join. That is where you can get, there's bonus content from the podcast on there and some like behind the scenes stuff. And you also get a discount on my merch. So, and if you've already been a member before, you can still win one now. So, do it, I guess. Yeah, September 28th. I actually remember this one. This is the one that Shay won. Remember Shay Nira, who used to watch us a lot and spent a lot of time here when we were Overwatch gamers. She won both of them somehow. And then I don't think she claimed either of them. So, enjoy. I am trying to post more often on Fourth Wall. But y'all know how I am about editing video. It's not my favorite. Seems to look like he lives a fun life. Well, isn't that how it always is though with like social media and the internet? It always looks exciting. I want to take this. I want to take this shop out of my website. That just looks weird. I don't want it. I don't want it. Oh, there we go. Delete. Yeah. We don't need all that. I'm also not sure why it gives people the option to log into my website. There must just be a lot more you can do with Wix than I'm even close to doing. I don't need that either. Before striking out on his own in 1941, with which famous band did the legendary Lionel Hampton share the stage? I don't know. That sounds like a Razor question. Oh my gosh. Shock and awe. Prone and Mama Tamago. Go ahead and click on that. You both know. You both know. Go ahead and click on the link. Verify your Twitch. Welcome to the fam. You'll also show up on my ending screen now. You're welcome. Been playing so much Jurassic World lately. I think I made more progress this time than ever. Love that. The like the park builder one, Evolution. The one that I quit because the dinosaurs all got out and I can't afford the team to catch them. So they're all just running loose in my park. I think I have that. I think someone... Sappho. I want to give away from Sappho. And I got a code for that. The second one. There's 2 of them now, right? I'm pretty sure. That's exciting. I'm such a... The ADHD really jumps out, specifically with my gaming habit. I get so obsessed with one game, and I'll play it nothing but that. 7 Days to Die is a great example. Played that for what, 2 months? Nothing but that game for 2 months. Haven't touched it since. Ever since the Blood Moon, I have not opened that game.
dead to me. Overwatch was kind of the same way, a little bit longer term though. I don't know. I don't want to be like that, but it's just so easy for me to like to get turned off on a game so fast. It's not how I want to be, but it is what it is. Showcases vibrant talent with the Benny Goodman Band. Never heard of it. I'm young and vibrant. That was well before my time. Well before my time, good sir. I'm downloading something on Canva and it's telling me to team up with my top collaborators, and it's listing 3 people who I know, but who I've never worked with anything on Canva. It's got Austin's name, it has Beth, and Beth, it's got Beth's, I think that's her like legal last name, hello. And then a local clown who I also have never collaborated with. Very strange. I don't know why it does that. That's concerning. Anyway. Good to know. All right, what was I working on? Oh, the website. We did that. We did that. We did that. Come on, level 2s. GG. Publish. And we're gonna double check, make sure it all looks right. Why is there still a shopping cart icon? And a shopping page? Those are supposed to be gone. All right, much better. Much better. Yeah, it's such a simple website, but I feel like you have to have at least like some form of a website for people to take you seriously. And then it gives me a place to put like all the different things people can hire me to do. Not all the things they can hire me to do, but all of the things that I can talk about on LinkedIn that they can hire me to do. On the record. Go fishing. Okay. What else we got? I'm kind of on a roll. Don't tell anyone, but class, hootenanny. Not the perch. Let's do the hootenanny stuff, I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna do the project management class. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did like 2 hours of it yesterday, and I'm not really in the mood to do it today. But
If I knock out every other thing that we had on our to-do list today, I'll be happy with that. That's more than I usually get done. And we've only been going for like 2.5 hours, so. Not to flex or anything, but kind of on fire today. What happens when you only do co-working once a week? Look at him now. He's got his little ball too. Oh. I can't. Oh. Up him. Love him. Not that razor. Fucking hell. I'm gonna pin you up in the air again. I'm gonna pin you up in the air. Time out. What do they call it when you do it with a dog? Air jail. Air jail. kind of want to do another movie night. I miss doing stuff in the Discord more. Yeah, we used to, and I'm not complaining. Like, obviously, people have all kinds of stuff going on right now, but we used to be in there like every night. Like, you would find someone in there like streaming a game or just hanging out. It felt like for a long time that was like the hub. And obviously, like I said, people have other stuff going on, but I do miss it. GG, mama. I think we also used to all play the same games, which I think has made it a big difference too. Like, there would always be someone in there playing like Dead by Daylight or Overwatch or Fortnite or whatever game it was at the time that we were all playing. And I feel like now, and this isn't, again, not a bad thing, but I don't feel like there's one game that all of us play anymore. We're all kind of all over the place. But again, not a bad thing. But that's why I think things like movie nights are maybe a better, more, not more inclusive, but broader appeal. Broader appeal. But again, I'll remind folks, you all can stream in there too. Like, you don't have to wait for me or one of the mods to like organize something. You all are that's why anybody can join the Goon House. We're the ones getting played. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. I will try to make more of an effort to be in there. But again, please, you all are more than welcome. I would just say, like, if you're going to like hop in and play a game or something, post in like the general chat, so people know that. Because I think a lot of the time, folks, I don't think all of us assume that if someone's in there that we're welcome to join. And I think more often than not, when people hop in there, they're okay with other people joining. But unless there's like an explicit, hey, I'm doing this if anyone wants to join, I think people will often like not join because they feel lack of an invite feels like lack of permission. Did see that Overwatch fell down quite a few slots in the top played games on Twitch. Yeah, I mean, with Marvel Rivals, I think that makes sense. It'll probably switch when Overwatch, is it a new season they're doing, or they're doing a bunch of, they're revamping a bunch of shit. So it'll probably flip back. I don't think it's dead like people keep saying. But I also think people put more stock in those numbers than they really should. Because if you think about it, all it would take is for 5 of the top streamers playing that game to swap to something else. And if they're all swapping to the same other game, then you're going to see a big switch. That doesn't necessarily mean more people are playing that game. That doesn't necessarily mean like there's something wrong with the other games. It's all just based on views. Yeah, I saw that too. I can't remember. I didn't read the post or anything. But I saw people were like, oh, Marvel Rivals finally got Overwatch to do something about their game. And I'm like, girl, can we stop? Can we stop pitting games against each other like that? You can like both. Or not like either of them. Like, glimpse into the future of Overwatch 2, February 12th. That's a while away. I imagine the revamp will be 6v6 or something. It says groundbreaking PvP gameplay changes coming. I bet it's not 6v6. I think that there are a lot of people who probably want that. But to me, that would not be groundbreaking. That would be going back to ground they already broke a long time ago. Yeah, that term groundbreaking is interesting. Overwatch 2 is going to be packed with groundbreaking changes to the PvP experience that will be unlike anything you've seen before. But it's going to take more than a blog or a developer update to let you know what we have coming this year. Not 7v7. They're eliminating one more. It's going to be 4v4. 2 supports, because they can't lose the gaze. 1 DPS, 1 tank. Not only we are... Who wrote this? Not only we are looking at incredible changes how the game is played, but you'll get a glance at new heroes, new maps, and even more content coming this February and beyond. So be sure to grab your favorite peanut butter flavored snack and tune in. Okay. And they invited a bunch of content creators to the Blizzard headquarters in California. I never get invited to shit. I scream at the camera with my 8 viewers. Can you imagine 7 killers and 7 survivors? No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, so I don't think they could be maybe announcing 6v6 as well, but it doesn't sound like that's what the groundbreaking change would be. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep 6v6 as like a arcade mode thing, because it did seem like that was pretty popular with folks. And that doesn't sound like the kind of thing that would be hard to do for them to just keep it as a arcade rotation, but what I hope doesn't happen, but in my experience, it's very much a possibility, is that they overhype the shit out of this and then it's not that groundbreaking. I feel like they called Clash mode groundbreaking as well, and that was not particularly well received. That's my bigger concern, is that they're gonna make it sound like they're changing the game completely, and it's gonna be this like new era of Overwatch, and it's just gonna be something that's not groundbreaking in the least. Or worse, something that makes the game even worse for people. We'll see. I'll mark my calendar for February 12th. I don't have plans yet. Maybe we'll watch it together. What time is it? 10 a.m. Pacific time. 10, 11, 12, 1. We'll put it into the calendar, and as it gets closer, we'll see. Totally not holding my breath. Yeah. I hope it's something cool. I hope it's something cool. I like Overwatch. White House says that President Trump's tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China will go into effect on Saturday. No potential exemptions were stated. Well, it's happening. It's happening. 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, and 10% tariffs on goods from China. Provided no word on whether there would be any exemptions to the measures that could result in swift price increases to US consumers. So I should put that grocery order in today, is what I'm hearing. Maybe we stock up today. These are promises made and promises kept by the president. Girl, shut up. Caroline Levitt. Apparently she's from New Hampshire. BT dubs. Just 2 weeks into his term. I think this is going to blow up in his face, much like many of the other choices he's made. I mean, it's kind of a meme, but people do, as much as we want them to care about things like immigrants and trans people, many people care more about their egg prices or like the price of gas. And I don't think he's going to be able to like shun the blame for all of this as much as he seems to think he will. I guess Trump had said he was weighing the potential for an exemption for Canadian and Mexican oil imports, but there was no information to share at the time. We import almost 4.6 million barrels of oil daily from Canada. And about 500,000 barrels from Mexico. By contrast, we produce ourselves about 13.5 million per day. People are worried their food assistance might not continue and the price of food will go up. Yes. Correct. And then Canada and Mexico have both said that they are prepared to issue retaliatory tariffs. Mind you, reminder, NAFTA, which Trump hates NAFTA. That's where this is coming from. Trump hates NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. We have a free trade agreement with both Canada and Mexico as our two closest neighbors. And they are probably two of our three biggest trade partners. We probably trade more with China. But what are we doing? Since when is Canada our biggest fucking economic threat? Hello? Yeah, they had said initially when he first started floating the idea of tariffs, they both, because they both have been asked, like, would you consider retaliatory tariffs? And they both were like, if we have to, yeah. Like, I think this is also going to cause issues in terms of the job market too, because as prices increase, companies will not be able to afford to staff at the same levels, especially if this is like a long-term situation. A study by Warwick McKibben and Marcus Noland of the Peterson Institute for International Economics concluded that the 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and 10% tariffs on China would damage all the economies involved, including the United States. For Mexico, a 25% tariff would be catastrophic. And the economic decline caused by the tariff could increase the incentives for Mexican immigrants to cross the border illegally into the United States, directly contradicting another Trump administration priority. That sounds right. Which he will then turn around and use to justify stricter enforcement, more spending on things like ICE, more detention facilities, camps, more prison labor. So again, while it looks like this is just a bubbling idiot who doesn't know what he's doing, there is an intentionality to this that cannot be forgotten. This is all on purpose. He might not know what he's doing, but he has people in his orbit who very much do. Interesting. Well, let me go work on this grocery order, I guess. Shit. Well, shit. Prove that and the data not removed from the executive orders. Oh, yeah. What a time to be alive, truly. What? Time to be alive. Alright, I think I'm done working on this for now. I'm trying really hard to be like, to write something for this Hootenanny thing I'm hosting. Because I feel like that's what a professional would do, is like prepare material. But I just don't think it's very me. I think that I've always just done better with like kind of winging it a little bit, but we'll see. I'm also a little nervous about this because it's the organization that hired me is it's an advocacy group that does a lot of like policy work, but they're not necessarily a partisan organization. So when it comes to like making jokes about Trump, I don't think that's a problem, but also I'm not 100% sure where the line is. And I know that I'm further left than they are. That's what it comes down to is, as a whole, they, I think, lean liberal, but not probably as far to the left as I do. Not that I'm gonna go up there and make like guillotine jokes. I know probably that's too far, but you know, I'm not 100% sure where the line is for them, and I won't really know until I'm there. So that'll be interesting. I'll let you know how that goes. He's like dream twitching. So, yeah. So I'm sure it'll be fine. But like I said, I think that this is the type of place where if I do well, it could lead to more opportunities for me. And as someone who doesn't do drag in like the traditional sense, like people don't book me to like cat kitty cat cat. I have to be a little bit more, I think, proactive about getting bookings than other performers do, because I'm not someone who like does. I lip sync, but it's not what people book me for. That's not what they're paying me to do. So I feel like I have to sell myself a little bit harder than a lot of other performers do. And this is, I think, a room where there will be a lot of people who might potentially be interested in doing. And the person who's like the chair of the organization is a friend of mine, and I don't want to like fuck up her event, so there's that too. Y'all have any fun plans for the weekend? Razor, are you going to Mexico? Y'all doing anything fun tonight? Friday night? Gonna go out and get turned? Many considerations, indeed. Indeed, indeed. Gonna go home and eat my former roommate's abandoned food. There you go. I'm gonna start doing that with Jared's food. Except his food's gross. He doesn't have a whole lot of food here, first off, because I'm the one who buys all the groceries. But notably, there is a whole frozen fish in our freezer. And when I mean whole, I mean an entire fish. You open the door to our freezer, eyeballs, baby. Scales, the whole thing. Yeah. And I keep mentioning to him that I would love it if he would do something with it, but imagine that Jared's food would be a combination of protein powder, snacks, and just really gross shit. I mean, he has like protein powder and stuff here. He doesn't eat a lot of like, this is what's always pissed me off about Jared, actually. He eats like generally pretty healthy, but not so much more healthy than I do that he should be as much skinnier than I am, if that makes sense. He eats a lot of like salads. So he'll go to the store and get like those like bagged, like the bagged coleslaw kind of mix things and the bagged salad mixes. He'll make like a whole one of those and like a chicken breast or steak or something and then eat that. He doesn't do a whole lot of like planning. So that's why he doesn't have a ton of food here, because he'll usually like stop at the grocery store on his way home and pick up like what he wants to eat for that day, and then he just cooks it. But like I said, he's got the fish. He has a lot of spices. We've got like an entire cupboard full of just spices and spice blends and barbecue like rubs and hot sauces and stuff like that. But other than that, he doesn't keep a lot of food here. He'll do like bacon and eggs in the morning. Every once in a while, he'll make pancakes. But he's very much like a... Shocking for anybody who knows him. He's very much like an in-the-moment decision maker, so he usually just grabs something on the way home. He usually will have like a thing of ice cream in the freezer on standby. But most of the stuff that's in the fridge is mine. Luckily, I'm a pretty I'm not like a super picky eater, so I'll eat pretty much anything. If I don't feel like cooking anything and we don't have anything quick and easy to make, I will literally just grab a bag of like frozen vegetables, heat it up and eat that, and be totally happy with it. I'm not super picky. I made a batch of soup yesterday. I make it's like a loaded potato soup. And I got 2 giant containers of it. I probably made 1.5 gallons of soup. And I'll eat that for probably a week. I just don't like cooking. I don't like cleaning. I have Chinese sausage that you should cook tonight. Sounds good. Oh, I say cooking, but like I diced up the potatoes and boiled them, and then you mash half of them, and that's like what thickens up the soup. And then I put like corn in mine, and I put I chopped up some bacon and put it in there. And then when I serve it, I put some cheese and some sour cream. So I cooked, but it was literally like boiling water was pretty much the extent of the actual cooking. And the payoff was great. So I cooked for maybe an hour and I got a week's worth of meals out of it, which is exactly the kind of cooking I'm down for. You will not catch me like toiling away over a frying pan or like baking things. No. Not for just me. If it were like a special occasion or if I had people coming over, sure. But I'm not going to spend an hour of my time every day cooking dinner. No. No. I don't think. All right. On that note, what if we wrap up now? I still have all right, we finished everything except for the project management class, which I might hop back on and do later, just maybe not on stream. But I knocked out what, like 4 or 5 things today? That's pretty good. For a Friday, I'll take that. I can live with that. Good morning, hello. He's awake. Good morning. He probably needs to go out anyway. I wasn't gonna say anything, Stephen. Okay. Yours is a lofty one though, so that's okay. You've got time. You've got time. He's a good boy. He's been very sleepy the last couple days, and he hurt his foot today, but he seems okay now. All right, let's shall we find someone to raid? Maybe we'll do a movie night tonight. I don't know if y'all have anything going on, but maybe I'll hop in and play a game or watch a movie or something. Kind of nice watching a movie last night. I have not been watching Drag Race, I'll be honest. I have not been watching. I see like the clips and things on Twitter, but I don't know. I'm kind of over it right now. Not really interested. And it's not even the show itself, it's the fans. It's the fans that are the problem. And the community around the fandom that I just can't. I can't do it. They suck the fun out of it. It's the same thing with Overwatch. I like the game. It's the rest of you that fuck me up. Didn't start the new one yet either. Yeah. I'm like paying attention to it, so like I'm kind of aware of who's doing well and who's flopping, but it's just too much. I also don't think, I think Paramount Plus is like the one streaming thing I don't have. Watch, I do, and I've been paying for it this entire time. Oh my gosh, I think I do. Oh, I do! Well, let's go ahead and cancel that, shall we? God. Oh, 2 free months? Okay. That was easy. 100% off for 2 months. Someone remind me in 2 months to cancel this. It's only $5.99 a month. See, that's reasonable. Netflix. Good morning. Oh. Stood up, turned around, laid back down. So I guess I do have Paramount Plus. Well, maybe we'll watch something on here then. They have Scary Movie. Or, you know what I haven't seen yet? I'm a bad gay. I'm a bad horror gay. I still haven't seen Smile. And there's a second one now, isn't there? I still haven't watched that. So maybe I'll watch that. I know not everybody in our community is like a horror person, but I haven't seen it. So maybe that's what we do. Maybe we do that. Can't remember if I saw Smile. I feel like maybe I started it and just didn't get far into it, but I've heard nothing but good things, so. It's happened with so many movies lately. I feel like there haven't been a lot of movies. You know what else I haven't seen? Bad Gay. I still haven't seen Wicked. Kiki and I were gonna go watch it, but then we just didn't. And I was gonna rent it, but it was like $20. Because when I was looking, it was still in the theaters, but you could also rent it. And I was like, hard pass. I remembered I'd seen the entire first season of it. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Netflix lately because I have that projector. And the only apps I can get to work on that projector right now are Amazon Prime Video and Netflix. So I've been watching a ton of stuff on Netflix. I'm watching Madam Secretary right now. And it's kind of wild to see some of the like that show is pretty old. It's years old. 2014, yeah. But it's interesting to see some of the things that they talk about in the show that mirror what's happening now. Very wild. I'm getting a phone call from Indiana. I think we'll let that go to voicemail. I'm not expecting a call from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Thanks though. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. I don't see anybody right now co-working. I usually try to like raid someone who's doing the same thing we were doing. So I do see, if you want to go check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Twitch, I just happen to see SB Simone on there right now, who is, I don't know her title, but she works for Twitch supporting the guilds, like the Pride Guild, Black Guild, Latin Guild, Unity Guilds, that's what they're called. So she's literally talking on that channel right now. So if you're looking for something to go watch, she's on there now, and I'm assuming they're probably talking about something guild related. So that said, thank you all for hanging out today. Thank you to everybody. I know today's the last day of the month. Thank you to everybody who helped support Goose and his vet bills this month. We made it almost halfway to our overall goal. So I am happy with that. Obviously would have loved to hit $3,000 in a month, but that was a very ambitious goal to begin with. We'll keep doing more stuff like this. I don't think I'll do another like month-long incentive, but we'll do, you know, stuff here and there. So thank you so much for, they left a voicemail. Hello. So thank you again to everybody who's contributed. I'll leave the Ko-fi link up. So if we hit 1,500 by the end of the day today, that'll get us to the Jared workout stream. So I'll keep an eye on it. But like I said, we'll keep doing more incentives and stuff because I can't not pay for his vet bills. So I'm going to keep nagging you to give me money until I have enough that I can pay for his bills. So, but again, thank you all so much. I appreciate it. And if he could speak, he would say the same. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night. Like I said, I'll probably play a movie or something in the Discord tonight. So stay tuned. Keep an eye out there. Yeah. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. If I don't see you in the Discord later, enjoy your weekend. And I will see you all on the internet. Kisses. Love you, mean it. Bye. Yeah. Hello and goodbye.